What's up, everyone? I am back for a review. I didn't know what show I was going to review in the future on YouTube because YouTube is any more podcasts and I watch the usuals. I look at Rocks, I look at Richie Sky, Rodney the Voice, Ashley of course is hilarious, and a few others, but I don't feel like doing that every day. Everybody does it, and everything doesn't interest me like that. When you speak about different reality shows, but so much, and everybody delivers something different, so that's the fun part about watching different people's reviews and perspectives. But once you've talked about this reality show or that reality show, it's like we didn't seen and heard it all at that point. And the shows get dumber and more forced and more scripted at this point. It's not fun no more. So anyway, The Idol, season 1, episode 1. Pop Tarts and Rat Tails, or Rat Tails and Pop Tarts. I forget what the episode is called. Let me see. Just to be clear, what is the episode called? Pop Tarts and Rat Tails, season 1, episode 1. So, this is a show that stars The Weeknd. You guys know, one of the biggest pop stars in the world. Um, my initial take on it, just right away, this is something that I feel is completely on brand for The Weeknd. I know there's been crazy talk in the press. This is something that's on brand for him. If anything, I feel like it's something that would have gone along with his After Hours album, or even the Dawn FM album. I feel like this would be a visual aid to those albums. Anyway, he stars as Tedros. He is a nightclub owner. He is apparently a self-help guru as well, and ends up meeting with a young lady on the show named Jocelyn. Jocelyn is a pop star and is coming back after having a nervous breakdown. She's launching a new album and a new single. The single's called I'm a Freak. Her whole management team, crisis team, is at her house. It's a compound, it's a mansion, pop star money hits. And she's shooting her album cover. There's areola everywhere. She's chain smoking cigarettes like it's the 70s. She's doing choreography, working with her team, all of that good stuff. Her manager right away, Destiny, who's part of her management team, is hilarious. I think it's Davine Joy Randolph. I think that's how you say her name. She's from Philly. She was in the United States versus Billie Holiday. Hilarious. My favorite character on the show. Getting that out the way. Not a lot happened in this episode, which I can appreciate about it. It was really, really a slow burner. We saw Jocelyn. We heard about what's going on in her life at the moment. Her crisis team and her management team actually had an interview set up with Vanity Fair the same day that a picture leaks of Jocelyn, and it is adult film related. It's really all I can say because YouTube yanking videos down, and there's evidence on Jocelyn's face from this adult situation that transpired. So it's leaked all over Twitter. Her management team has taken her phone. They had her assistant, who's also her best friend, hide her phone. And Jocelyn, while she's rehearsing outside with her team, can tell that there's something going on. And she's distracted while trying to learn choreography. So finally they get with her. They're like, listen, we already got it figured out. Publicist is there, management team is there, the assistants are there, everybody's there. We've all got it figured out. The label has figured it out. It'll be down by the morning. We already subpoenaed Reddit. We tracked down the IP address, all of that good stuff. So in the middle of the show, we see her go to this club. After all of that transpires, she goes to a club with Tedros, where Tedros is the owner. She goes out with her friends, her best friend, who's her assistant, and I believe her name is Leia or Leah. Long story short, before going to the club, they also, while talking to her about the photo that's leaked, she says, well, it could have been worse. I'm not sure if she did this on purpose, or if she's not ready to get back out there. I did notice that she had a hospital band on. I don't know if it was part of the marketing while she was doing her album cover, because they're trying to sell mental illness as well as sex and pop music. And that was what part of the management team was talking about. They were like, listen, because she just recently lost her mother. So we're selling sex, we're selling pop music, and we're selling mental illness because that is apparently a thing that we can sell now. And if you look at the industry itself, not calling anybody out, not saying that anybody's lying, but as you can see, more and more people are being upfront and honest about their mental illness, not just because it's a safe space, but also too, it's marketable. So back to them going to the club where Tedros is the owner. He notices her walking in. He has a whole team of people, but he sees her, spotlights her, calls her out. Madonna's Like a Prayer song is on, and then he goes to the floor. He asks her for a dance, they kiss, they embrace. They end up sneaking off to another part of the club. Her assistant is looking for her, like, "Yo, I got your bag." This, that, and the third, and they just talk. They chat it up. She ends up noticing that he has a rat tail. She was like, "I ain't never been with nobody just got a rat tail." Now that is one thing I'm pretty sure with all the controversy going on with the show and with all the ratings going on for the show, in the press, I'm pretty sure the Weeknd's hair and the lace front is gonna be something that has a whole life of its own. But what I will say is that it does make you look at him as someone other than the Weeknd. It makes you take him completely out of the equation and you look at him for the character. So I will say that much. There's definitely range there, and I definitely think he's doing a great job. Lily Rose Depp, yes, that Depp, plays Jocelyn. By the way, she goes by Joss a lot of the time on the show. So they sneak off, and then once that is over and they're back at the house, she's with her assistant again, and they're talking about the song "I'm a Freak," which is her new single, and about how superficial it is and how she doesn't like it. So she ends up saying she's gonna invite Tedros over, and her assistant is like, "I don't like him. He's weird." And there's also some weird things that go on in the club too. Like you can see that Tedros has a team. He has people planted there to deliver drinks, to listen to certain people, to tend to certain people for certain reasons. And you can also tell that there's a lot more that's underneath this club. There's a lot more that's underneath Tedros. He's very, very mysterious. He's almost like vampire like, and it's not really a horror show, but it definitely shows you the darker, mysterious side of what pop music and relationships can be when you get around certain people. And you definitely see what certain things people have been talking about for years on YouTube, as far as when certain managers come in or certain people that come in and start running certain teams, or when people get in relationships and all of a sudden that person gets in charge of your album, in charge of your music, in charge of your finances. I think we're kind of going to see that type of stuff with Tedros and Jocelyn. But before I get on to the final part, because like I said, there were really only like three scenes that happened, like three big scenes throughout the show: the beginning, the middle, and the end. Which I'm glad, because there wasn't too much to keep up with. There wasn't so much that happened. But there are some people who are hilarious. Like I think Nikki's a part of her PR team. The chick Nikki is hilarious. She just says the first thing that comes to her mind. She doesn't think before she speaks, and I can appreciate that because that sometimes is me. Um, let's see. We talked about the club. Jocelyn's also into choking herself too. There was a scene where she got intimate with herself and was choking herself. But okay. Let's see. All right, so Tedros gets to the house because she invited him over there. And to be clear, her assistant slash best friend said he gives her a. What did he tell her? What did she say? She said, "I hate his vibe. He's so rapey." I thought she was gonna say murder rapey, but Lord, they gonna take my video down. That's just what she said. Um, and the show also too, it gives you the vibe of, like I said, it gives you the vibe of a Weekend visual film, like that would go along with one of his albums, but it also gives you the vibe of Euphoria as well, and the stuff that happens on that universe too. Um, which Euphoria, I believe, is not scheduled to come back until 2025 now, just to throw that in there. So at this point, it's just like, what we doing? But in the meantime, we have another candidate creation, The Idol. So Tedros gets to the house and he appears like Blade. Like I said, he's at the gate. He didn't drive up, I don't believe. I think he walked up to the gate. And it was a shadow, it was a silhouette, long coat, slick back. Like I said, it looked like Blade popped up. Um, let's see. he ends up coming in the house and he ends up kissing Jocelyn's best friend assistant Leia on the mouth, and she was like, "Thanks." And he's getting ready. He's in her house now. This is the weird stuff that started to go on. He's sniffing pillows and sitting down, and she was like, "Make yourself at home." He was like, "Are you sure?" He started getting real weird immediately. So then he goes to the bathroom, and he's getting ready. He's trying to practice his greeting on how he's going to talk to her and say, "Hello, angel," and all this other stuff. And he does a bump. Um, yeah, it was a real. And she was upstairs getting ready. Then they meet, and she comes in the bathrobe, huge, probably like 7-inch stilettos, because she said she wanted to be taller than him while she was getting dressed. So then also too, she says she wants him to go to the studio with her, which she has in her house, so she can play the new single called "I'm a Freak." And he said that he liked the song, but he wasn't sure how much of a freak that she really was. And he was just like, at the end of the day, maybe you should drop a song called "I'm a Nun," because I don't think that you're really a freak. Because I think you're singing a song, but you don't really know how to do the nasty. It's not what he said, but I'm paraphrasing. And they got some things, some suggestive stuff going on with some ice cubes, his liquor, his cigarettes. Again, like I said, she chain smokes through the entire joint, like it's just smoking all the way. Like I said, it's like the 70s. And it does give that vibe. It gives like 1974, 1975, 77, 78, in 2023. And he brought up a reference to Donna Summer's "Love to Love You, Baby." And he was like, at the end of the day, speaking of which, Donna Summer's documentary, I'm so glad they referenced her. Her documentary just came out not too long ago called "Love to Love You, Donna Summer." Phenomenal piece of work. Brooklyn Sedano and her family and her husband did a great job. I am waiting patiently, probably impatiently now, for them to announce that Kelly Rowland is going to get the role and play her in the biopic. If it ain't Kelly Rowland, then I really don't want it at this point. I just don't. There's just absolutely no way. For all intents and purposes, Kelly Rowland is the modern day Donna Summer. Um, but getting back to that, um, and that was really it. They talked about the song. They started doing some things. Some suggestive stuff in the studio with ice cubes and alcohol, talking about music. And he said he liked the song. It's a hit. He can see why the label wants to push it, but it goes from there to them, getting intimate and all that stuff, and then it ends. I will say this much: I'm very interested in the soundtrack to the show, because the songs that have come out from there, like "Double Fantasy" was the first single with Future and the Weeknd, dope record. And then "Popular" with Playboy Cardi and Madonna, which is the Weeknd featuring those two, is dope. Like, it really gives you Neptune's 2002 type of vibes. It really does give you um yeah, like what, change clothes slash take you home, Bow Wow type of, that stuff, 2002, from Pharrell and that type of wave. Hot in Here specifically was one of the first songs that I thought of, by Nelly, of course. Um, what I can say is that I like the show so far. I was definitely tuned in. I was locked in. It kept my attention. I wasn't bored. I thought it was hilarious at some points. I thought it was deep at some points, and I thought it gave you a real, true look and a true insight as to what the industry can be. They don't care about who lost who. Oh, you had a nervous breakdown and then you're having a comeback. Perfect time. You struggle with mental illness. Perfect time for us to drop a new single, drop a new album. So that's what I took from it, and I think that this was probably written based off of several pop stars who went through things. And the Weeknd has been in the game long enough, seen enough, done enough to where he can speak on this firsthand. And then the family that Lily Rose Depp comes from is absolutely a family that could tell this story and give you a firsthand look at what goes on behind the scenes. So I definitely think it's going to be a great show at showing what goes on behind the scenes. I've heard that people are not going to like how graphic it gets and how real it gets, but at the same time, I think this is one of the reasons why Queens on ABC didn't go but so far, because it can only go so far on ABC. You got to have a network that can support a show that can go far if you want to tell a real story. And ABC was not the network for Queens. I will stand by that wholeheartedly. Queens had potential to be great, but Queens needed to be on Stars. It needed to be on HBO. It needed to be on Showtime. That is one of the reasons that Queens failed, because you can't have a rap group, a show about a rap group called the Nasty Bitches, with Eve and Brandy and Remy and Notori and all of that stuff, and then it has these cookie cutter storylines that just it got corny after a while. Great show, but it had potential to be better and greater, and I think this is one of the reasons it didn't go far enough. Some might say the Idol goes too far. I liked it though. I liked how far it went. I think it goes where shows should go and haven't gone in a long time, and I'm interested to see where they go this season. Um, Me loving music and being involved in it, I can't wait to see what they do next. And I'm happy to see The Weeknd make his debut. He's producing, he's writing, he's directing all of this, and then he's doing the music. So this is all a Weeknd operation right here. This is completely, his ship, and I think he's doing a great job. I can't wait to see what he do next. It's very, very cinematic. It's not just, a camera and some people. It's very, very cinematic and very, very. It takes you there. It really does. I like it. I enjoyed it. What'd you think? Like, rate, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I just re-released my first album that I put out 5 years ago. It's called Forgiveness and Revenge. It's available everywhere. Stream it, don't stream it, but I appreciate you anyway. Follow me everywhere at Eric Unedited, and I'll be back next weekend to review The Idol all over again. Tomorrow's my birthday, June 5th. I'll be 18 again. But yeah, what do you guys think of The Idol? What do you want to see? What were you expecting from the episode, the debut episode? Because they've been promoting. Promotion has been crazy. They've been talking about this show for a minute. Have you heard anything from the soundtrack yet? Who are you looking to see? I'm believing that this is the last show that Anne Heche was appearing on in her lifetime. May she rest in peace. And I would have loved to have seen Drake pop up on here and Natasha Rothwell from Insecure. I think she would have done great in this. But anyway, that's it for me. Tell me what you thought about The Idol, what you want to see, and until next time.